Let's just stop, drop everything. But let's not forget that today we're here to talk about Chiodos. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the messy and chaotic and, dare I say, beautiful history of Chiodos. Because these post-hardcore legends made every 2000 kid's heart beat faster. And then they just broke. They broke all of our hearts. Let's just start by talking about the name. Chiodos. Sounds cool, right? It almost sounds like an edgy villain in some movie. But guess what? It's actually a tribute to the Chiodo brothers, a trio of filmmakers that gave us the cult classic Killer Clowns from Outer Space. If you didn't know that, don't worry. Most fans don't. We were all just too busy screaming our hearts out at Warped Tour to Google anything. So let's take it back to 2001, when the world was blessed with something truly chaotic. The band originally called themselves the Chiodos Bros because subtlety's never been Craig Owens' strong point. Back then, they were just kids from Michigan, making their mark at local venues. But hey, listen, every emo band has to start somewhere. They spent the next few years grinding away, changing their name, and dropping their debut EP, All's Well That Ends Well, in 2005. This was their We're a Big Deal moment, and the whole world was going to have to deal with it. The album cracked the Billboard Top 200, and for a bunch of dudes from Michigan, that's not too shabby. Now let's fast forward to 2007. Bone Palace Ballet put them on the map. This album debuted at number 5 on Billboard, and it was basically their love letter to the chaotic mess that was post-hardcore. But to nobody's surprise, drama was brewing. In 2009, Chiodos made a bombshell announcement. Craig Owens, he was out. That's right, the emo icon and the voice of every angsty teen at the time was out. And to make it worse, the band dropped this cryptic message on MySpace. Remember MySpace? And when they dropped that message, the emo world gasped. Now to be fair, the tension between Owens and the rest of the band had been simmering for a while. But the bombshell wasn't really that the band was just moving on. They'd be replacing Craig Owens. And they'd be replacing him with that Brian Bulmer dude from Yesterday's Rising. Bold move? I don't know, I'll let you be the judge of that. And if it was bold, it wasn't bold enough to stop a sinking ship. In 2010, Chiodos dropped Illuminaudio. The band was in a phase where they were all about shaking things up. Different vocalists, different drummer, whole new sound, whole new vibe. This was a very different band and a very different sound from the iconic Bone Palace Ballet. Now, the album did have some hits, but if we're being honest, the album didn't really wow the world the way that their earlier songs had. Brandon Balmer, cool guy, great vocals, but let's be honest, he wasn't Craig Owens. Fans couldn't deal, and the album really just didn't have the same magic. Maybe Illuminaudio is the manifestation of the band's inner chaos. Or maybe, and most likely, it was just an attempt to keep that train rolling, even if it was off the tracks. Either way, it just wasn't the same, and fans noticed. But hold on, it's not time to fully throw in the towel yet. I know you're thinking, another lineup change? Again? You can't be serious. Well, yeah, 2012 rolled around and Chiodos again was back to the drawing board. Enter the return of Craig Owens. That's right, the frontman that made the band was back. Derek Frost, the drummer that they just kind of threw by the wayside, he was back too. For emo kids, this was like the emo Avengers assembling, but without all the cool special effects. 2013 came and the boys were ready to make an album. And we got Devil, their 4th album, and it was fine, I guess. Not their best work, but it brought back that raw energy that they were known for. And by now, the lineup was absolutely all over the place. So much so that by 2014, they announced that Chiodos was done. It was done. But wait, this is an early 2000s screamo band. It's never really done. Even though in 2016, Craig Owens said, we're absolutely done. Apparently at the time, they just couldn't keep the band going with all the lineup changes. And probably more realistically, there was just so much drama between all the band members that they couldn't be in the same place at the same time. Either way, after 15 years of screaming and singing and banging their heads, the band seemed to be done. But as we know, for screamo, the story never ends. In 2023, the impossible happened. Craig Owens announced that he was bringing Chiodos back out on the road, and he'd be launching a tour to celebrate the 20th anniversary of All's Well That Ends Well. Now, there's a little asterisk here. He was bringing along his band from Drugs, Destroy, Rebuild, Until God Shows as the band. From the high school halls in Michigan to emo stardom, Chiodos managed to burn every bridge that was ever placed in front of them, but at the same time, they were creating the angsty anthems that will forever live in our emo hearts. Whether you love them or hate them, they'll always be that melodramatic screamo band that could absolutely sing their hearts out and just absolutely fall apart the next day. And you know what? That's exactly what legends are made of. So until next time, keep your eyeliner thick, your riffs heavy, and your drama, let's keep that a little bit quieter. If you enjoyed this, throw me a like, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to hear Chiodos at an emo night, join us on February 14th or 15th in either State College or Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Tickets are on sale now. We'll see you there.